Okay. Looks like it's all working now. I think something went wrong there. Anyway, it's time. Shadowbringers is here. It's installed. Let's dive into the game. Taru was itching to share what appears to be good news. Shadowbringers Orchestrion. Here we go. Good news, Knazy. We've had a stroke of luck in our search for that beacon. Huh? Apparently, our colleagues have stumbled across a hidden path leading down into the hollows around the base of the Crystal Tower. New tunnel. A path I doubt we'd ever have found had the Ironworks and the Suns not added their numbers to the party. Thanks to them, we have eager eyes aplenty down there. Checking under rocks and peering into every nook and cranny. Still, it sounds like there's a lot of ground to cover. Then we'd better go and lend them a hand. My thoughts exactly. The sooner we find this beacon, the sooner you can travel to wherever it is that mysterious voice is coming from. And the sooner we can work out how to help our friends. We have to find a way to wake them up, before the Empire comes calling again, meaning we have no time to lose. There's a boat in North Silvertear waiting to ferry people to the site, so let's be on our way. New opening noise! New quest accepted because it's a new expansion. Meaning the title screen will have changed as well. Because I haven't closed the game when the connection dropped out. Look. All the new aetherites that I'm gonna detect are gonna be dropping into this section. This is for the Shadowbringers areas. Elsabot, that's for I think partly Endwalker, partly others. Tyrol, obviously, it's gonna be Dawntree. Where is boat? There's boat. Let's keep her the lake. Now there's two boats parked here. Heading to the survey site, sir. It's on the eastern shore of the lake, and the swiftest way to get there is by boat. Boat. Okay, I'm gonna check all the dialogue real quick first. Boulder? Izzy, the search continues, but I have no doubt we shall find this beacon of yours. No doubt we shall find this beacon of yours. You know? The Archons need our help. Next to that, even matters of the heart don't seem to matter. Clemence? Detect no slavering beasts in the vicinity. My sister accepted. Oh, an Ironworks technologist? The Ironworks is out in force. Master Garlon's orders. The towering edifice is the outer wall of the Crystal Tower's foundation. The labyrinth of the ancients, to be precise. This is where we ran through on the other side of this wall before. The air here weighs heavily upon me. 'Tis little wonder, I suppose, when standing in the shadow of such an imposing structure. Anything else, Tataru? Oh, cutscene? Yes, cutscene. What dialogue? Spoken? Please tell me it's spoken.
Look how many people there are! Should we get to it then? Pick up anything that seems the least bit device-like, and we'll make ourselves a pile.
Well, if it isn't the hero of the hour, maybe you'll change our look. We've found bugger all without you.
I keep getting Biggs' voice wrong. I don't think I can actually do that accent anyway. Well, if it isn't the... No, I cannot. Where's Wedge?
Biggs! Wedge!
Oh, I've been...
Aye, aye. Well, we could hardly say no to a call for aid from the Scions. Jesse called it the chief of some other business, so we'll be working twice as hard to make up for his not being here.
Thrice as hard, even.
Thank you, both of you. I'm sure we'll find that beacon in no time.
I'm not seeing anything out here. Do you reckon you could squeeze in there, Wedge?
And get stuck halfway? No, thank you.
I could try if you like.
Tataru, no! We couldn't ask you to do that.
Oh, I'll be fine. This receptionist is not afraid to get her hands dirty.
Well... Guys, I think I found the thingy.
Sorry, I meant to say, the scholars haven't finished their preliminary assessment of the site yet, so we're not supposed to venture too far in.
I think I may have found the doohickey.
What's that you got there?
The apparatus, but it seems...
Now that looks promising.
Yeah.
Isn't
It's a
that the
coin.
ironworks symbol? Counterfeiters?
No, it looks...
Now I have you.
You are right.
What's happening?
Stay with me. Focus on my voice. Let expanse contract. Eon become instant.
Wait, this must be it. The device. Oh, this is supposed to happen.
Throw wide the gates that we may pass.
Oh, safe journey, warrior of light. Find our friends and bring them home.
Huh?
It is a day for faded dreams.
The dawn's light will shine again.
Oh, do not look at me so.
You're slaves to a tyrant! There's no freedom in that!
This is one battle you cannot fight. Away with you! Go!
Spirited accounts of these comes in welcome.
We did everything right. Everything that was asked of us, and still it came to this.
Those... What is this are his memories? Health. It's too bright.
Your time has not yet come.
I feel it. Hey, hat, axe, armor. Hey, it's him. Our warrior of darkness, warrior of darkness. What time is it? Clear as day. But something seems off somehow.
From endless dreams I awake. Something vague, yet urgent, calls me to action once more.
Rare to meet someone out here who's not a peddler themselves. What brings you into the wilds this time of night?
What do you mean this time of night?
Well, if it ain't the oldest joke in the book. Me grandad, God's rest his soul, used to tell that one to the barman at kicking out time. And when, pray tell, did we last have a dark night? You rotten old drunk, you, he'd reply. Yeah. Over 100 bleeding years ago, that's when. You got that look down to a T. I'd almost think you meant it. Ah, got to you, did they? Poor beggar. That explains it then.
No, I don't drink.
Well, I've roads to travel and wares to sell, but you'd best hurry along to the town nearby. Just head east through the trees and aim for the Shining Tower. You'll find the place soon enough. 'Tis the biggest settlement for malms around. Go on now, friend. They'll take good care of you in the Crystarium.
Dizzying heights it rises, the gleaming spire. Its tip threatening to pierce the blinding canopy. There, it will all begin anew. Between dark and light, the pure and the corrupt. The one true struggle.
Welcome to Shadowbringers. Forest of the Lost Shepherd. Can't summon a mount. Hey, this map is different. This is, I could, yep, cutscene.
Halt! Every face in this city I know. Yours, I do not. This is the threshold of the Crystarium, stranger, and I am its gatekeeper. If you would enter, you will answer my questions. From where do you hail?
Where do I hail? Britannia.
Do you take me for a fool? No such place exists.
She sounds like... That voice. The accent. I don't know why, but it sounds... Let me just check. Oh. Yep. That makes sense.
Had you given me an honest answer, I would not have barred your way. We care little here for a person's place of origin, but instead, you chose concealment. And I will not suffer you to pass.
What else?
That one had eaten. It must have gulped down the whole hand, ring and all.
Wait a moment.
Everything all right, Captain?
That voice. It's you.
Quite all right, my lord. Just a stray sin eater, and a weak one at that.
I see. Weak or not, we should be on the lookout for more. But I see you've met my guest. I will escort him to the Crystarium myself, if you've no objections.
Another of your mysterious friends, is it? I should have known. Very well. I'll inform the others your guest is to be given the run of the city. Pray forgive my less than cordial welcome. May the rest of your stay with us be a pleasant one.
Come with me. I will answer whatever questions you have when we are somewhere more private.
No, they filled in his name, but we don't know it. They filled in a name, but we don't know it yet.
Right then, before we plunge into the wheres and wherefores, let me first thank you for answering my summons. I had intended to bring you directly to my personal quarters, but I fear my aim was slightly off. That you are still able to make the crossing unharmed is a great relief. And so, we come to the question of where. The realm in which you now find yourself belongs to one of the 13 reflections, or shards. The first, to be precise, even if its inhabitants are largely oblivious to the fact. As to wherefore, having been awarded the rather grandiose title of Crystal Exarch, I, in my capacity as caretaker of the Crystarium, thought to seek the aid of you and your companions.
Do you have any idea how much trouble you caused?
An inkling, yes. I can only beg your forgiveness. Matters here forced my hand, but all shall be explained in due course, I promise you. Let us begin with the glaring skies up above. Here in the first, the world has been all but consumed by primordial light. It began a century ago, by this realm's reckoning. A luminous flood swallowing everything in its path. More than 9/10 of this star was lost. And the fortunate few who survived are hounded by abominations born of that catastrophe even now. Sin Eaters, we call them. The creature you saw earlier was one such monstrosity. It was to save the first from this menace that I learned to bridge the rift between worlds. That I might call upon the aid of the greatest of heroes. And though it meant depriving a world of its champion, I had to try, for in saving the first, you would bring salvation to the source as well. But what manner of host harangues his guests in the middle of the road? Let us continue our talk within the Crystarium.
proud and vibrant city. The sole sanctuary for the living in a world all but resigned to oblivion.
No, it's the first time
Each stone was laid with hope. The town itself a symbol, a monument to defiance in the face of death. No would-be hero could fail to answer its call. For who among us does not yearn for salvation?
The rotunda. And here we are. Welcome, my friend, to the Crystarium. Welcome, man. Okay, since I don't know I am not as intricately familiar with the Northern script, plus it's a bit more complex than the Eosian one. I am going to go ahead and turn on the labels again. Second, let me just The Crystal Exarch has a request for you. Now, a full and frank discussion in the privacy of my study would seem to be in order. But I think a conversation here would be more meaningful if you were first to gain a firmer grasp of the situation here. To that end, I would like you to visit a few of the Crystarium's civic leaders and glean something of this world and its predicament. As you can see, this path will take you directly to the Aephorite, a convenience with which I am sure you are only too familiar. Being the rightful object of my summoning spell, you should in theory be able to reach all the way back along your etheric trail, and find a connection in the source, believe it or not. I strongly suggest you complete this attunement before venturing any further. After you've done so, walk up the steps next to the Aephorite and head out to the left to arrive at the crystalline mead. This is where you'll find a collective of crafters and gatherers, as well as their spokeswoman, Catullus, one of the people I should like you to meet. And there's Morin. To reach him and his cabinet of curiosity, you'll want to avoid the aforementioned steps. Take the exit on the left and simply continue straight along and down. Oh, ads coming in soon. Another path. Third and final person I'd like you to meet is Bragi, our man in charge of trade and distribution. He is to be found in the markets, which you can access from the opposite side of the Aephorite Plaza. In seeking out each of my colleagues, you'll visit the major districts of the city, and hopefully gain a feel for the place. I trust my directions were simple enough. Crystal clear. Very good. I can see the layout of the Crystarium owes more to historic necessity than planning. But I'm sure you'll learn its twists and turns before long. In all honesty, the true challenge may be in finding the right way to approach its citizens. As you discovered during your encounter with the captain, people of this world are unaware of the existence of other stars and will struggle to accept the truth of your origin. With that being the case, when they ask whence you hail, as they inevitably will, I suggest you claim you to share a homeland with the Crystal Exarch. There is an unspoken rule here about peering too deeply into that particular mystery. When you've finished making the rounds, pray meet me in the launch courtyard at the center of town. Until then. Now, I think it's time for me to run ads because... Yes, there it is. What? Wait, it just... There it goes. By focusing your senses, you detect the flow of vastly distant currents of ether. Your connection to these energies is faint but stable and should allow teleportation to Ephrites into source. Which means I need to check how much that would cost. What? Ah, yep, Revenant's Toll is the cheapest. And now I get the option to ride my chocobo. Let me just go ahead and quickly make the thumbnail here. To parallel the one from earlier, or the first part of the stream, helpful. And now we run back into the Crystarium because we were on that part. City of the First. Here we have the Rotunda. Let's actually just do this line manually. As it is. Up to floor 1. Name for that shard over there. It's mainly knife shards. Ellison. Right? Oh, that's the term you probably use on the source, of course. Rare to see a place so well stocked with goods, isn't it? But not here. Going to guess you're new to our fair city. Well, for what it's worth, you've chosen to find sanctuary. The exile can throw up a barrier the city agents can knock in. So it's a damn sight safer than in here than it is out there. Safer and more civilized too, thanks to us in the mean. We work together to procure materials and resources, and craft the goods which make city life possible. This is the place to visit if you need a coat mended or a kettle forged. Don't go thinking it'll all be handed to you on a plate like those moron layabouts. Here in the Crystarium, we work for a living. Yeah, not writing down gobbledygook. Though I see you're no stranger to honest labor. You don't have that whiff of indolence about you, like some folk I've met. Still, I can't quite pin down your profession. Where is it you're from? One of the XIV's countrymen, you say? I see. Well then, I'll work twice as hard to make you feel welcome. Our city wouldn't even exist if it weren't for him. And any friend of his is a friend of ours. Well, quite incredible when you think about it. They say his grand magic summoned the Crystal Tower into existence. Pulled the entire thing out of thin air. Wasn't long before droves of refugees began congregating around its base. Desperate for shelter after losing their homes to the flood. And that's how the Crystarium began. At the Exarch's invitation, buildings started growing up. With the help of some curious relics brought forth from the tower, the place gradually expanded into the thriving metropolis you see today. The city stood here for decades now, yet the eldest thing among us, where the looks exactly the same as he did back then. He is indeed a man of many mysteries, but for all his secrecy, he has never yet let us down. So if he and you wish to remain silent about your shared homeland, then the folk here will respect your wish for privacy. I am, however, more than a little curious to see any crafting talent you might be hiding. If you've ought to contribute on that front, be sure to come back and visit once you've had a chance to settle in. Just ask for Catalyst and I'll find you a niche here in the Crystalline Mean. You can help us keep the cogs of our city greased and turning. also always make a habit of tagging whatever the local equivalent of a chocolate cube is. You're looking to procure yourself an Amaro, and I reckon you've come to the right place. 1 second, if you would. Ah, there we have it. I've added you to our register. They come back when you're in need of a mount. Hiking to and fro is all well and good, but why not let a beast of burden do the heavy lifting from time to time? It is a perfect opportunity to sit back and enjoy your surroundings. That said, we'd be remiss not to offer you some words of caution. 2 pieces of advice to be precise. Firstly, don't let go of the reins. If you dismount or fall off your Amaro, it's like as not to wander off and leave you to trudge your way back to civilization. Secondly, while your Amaro can take you to any number of destinations, there are some limitations to keep in mind. First of all, you will be responsible for guiding your Amaro safely to your destination. After all, if you yourself don't know where you're headed, how can you expect one of these poor beasts to? Simple enough, yes? Secondly, these Amaro have been trained to follow specifically designated safe routes. If you try to force them off the path, they're not likely to take kindly to the suggestion. On the plus side, our Amaro porters are swift and strong. You're guaranteed a safe trip, unbothered by any of the nasty critters that roam the land. And I do believe that's all you'll be needing to know. Enjoy your journey through this friendly skies, traveler. Now to go down to the Cabinet of Curiosity. The market board. Oh wait, I forgot you guys are still on. I forgot you guys are still on emote only. New to the city, friend? The spinning head and wide eyes give you away. Welcome. My name is Bragi, and I'm the master of these markets. They gave the district another official title, but I am not in the habit of using it. Too florid by half. In any case, our merchants stock a range of equipment for mistle such as yourself, so finding something in your size shouldn't be a problem. I'm sorry, did you say mistle? Aye, something wrong? Let's see if we can straighten this out. You see these two in front of us? The shorter one's a hume. The taller one's an elf. The sturdy individual over there is Gulgent. And one of the horns is a Dran. And then you have these large, scaly chaps with long tails and a knack for raising livestock. Those would be the Zun. Which is apparently not the name you know them by. Now I'm curious to know which far-flung region you hail from. The same place the Crystal Exarch's from. Ah, the same as the Exarch, eh? Well, that explains it. Well, you don't get much further flung than that. I've heard a few of your lot pass through in recent years, and despite their obvious learning, they floundered over the simplest things. But not to worry, should you find yourself confused by the local language or customs, I'll be here to answer your questions. Your exchange with Bragi has taught you about the peoples of the First. Musica Universalis. I'm obviously gonna go ahead and run around and tag some Ethernet shards. This is apparently called the Whispering Gallery. Now I attack this one. And now I have only one more to tag. A big library. It's a big library. Alright. Excuse me, sir. Are you recently come to the city, perchance? I'm quite familiar with our civic roles, you see, and well... What I mean to ask is, have you brought any books with you? A rumpled scroll, even? A scrapple scribbled on parchment? My apologies, literature is something of an obsession of mine, as well as a profession. Librarian Morin, at your service. And this humble collection is known as the Cabinet of Curiosity. As your powers... Oh, and as your powers have likely informed you, my colleagues and I are responsible for creating all manner of tomes, documents, and other vehicles for the written word. Yep. As horrific as the loss of life and land wrought by the flood unquestionably was, the damage to recorded knowledge was no less catastrophic. We few do all we can to preserve what wisdom survived. Tell me, what brings you to the cabinet today? Looking for any title in particular? Mayhap a spot of academic research? Aha, so you're even interested in modern history. Splendid. A thorough review of recent events can often yield novel perspectives. I quite agree. If you would prefer something visual to accompany the account, then I think I have an illustrated history book for children somewhere. Just a moment, I'll fetch it for you. Book? And here we are. Would you like to pull up a chair, make yourself more comfortable? Onward with the lesson then. 100 years ago, or near enough not to matter, villains known as the Warriors of Light slew the Shadowkeeper, the Steward of Darkness. In the wake of this tainted deed, light began to pour into the world as if from unseen cracks. It pooled and swelled without cease, until the day an enormous blinding wave rose up and swept across our star. We called this calamity the Flood of Light, Everything it touched was leached of life and vigor, leaving naught behind but a luminous wasteland. Yet, just when it seemed that all would be lost, a savior appeared before us, the Oracle of Light. She stood twixt us and approaching doom, and by her power did she stay the flood. Thus was Norvrent, and Norvrent alone, spared the fate of Erasure. Tragedy would, however, arrive in another form. From the blasted emptiness descended horrors of strange and terrible aspect to bedevil the few folk who survived. These sin-eaters were light incarnate, and their folded presence stole the night from Norvrent's sky. Even now they circle the remaining bastions of civilization, ever on the hunt for us, ever hungering for our flesh. And thus did the world become what it is. If you ever wish to hear the tale again, I would be glad to retell it for you. Or if you'd rather I speak of other matters, that too would be my pleasure. You should be glad of the company. Your exchange with Morin has taught you about the Flood of Light. Down I go. Hey, I take the landing. Oh, yeah, I should honestly be using. Dawson Gate. So, well, how did you fare? Did my colleagues help you form a clearer picture of this world and its people? Yes, it seems you were treated to a most thorough introduction. I understand it was something of a chore, but it was necessary to grasp these things before we proceed. As for the Crystal Tower's origin, you may have noted the details were sparse. The structure is, in fact, the selfsame one you know from the source, transported to the first in its entirety. It was my first attempt at breaching the boundaries between worlds, something of a trial run for your eventual crossing. Although I do not know which era I tore it from, I do know that its arrival served to set the wheels of fate in motion. Wait, what? Oh, the Skaven stuff is actually higher level. Tales of Norvrent. Crystal Exarch is finally ready to discuss the matter of your comrade's whereabouts. You've done as I requested and learned something of the world in which you find yourself. Now I fulfilled my half of the bargain and explain what has befallen your comrades. That is a conversation I would rather have in the privacy of my quarters. I must go on ahead to the tower and organize a few things, but I shall see to that the god knows to admit you. The tower's I'm not familiar with that name. Is that something I should know? An extraordinary tale, but I'm afraid I found no such individual residing in the tower when it passed into my care. Mayhap we can revisit that mystery another time. For now, I think it best that we focus on the present. Greetings, sir. The Exarch awaits you within. Look, this was actually where... Now that I started it, I basically had... Yeah, it's basically what I need. It was a requirement to do the Crystal Tower questline before you could start this.
Welcome to the Ocular, my private study. We can speak here without fear of being overheard. I have much to explain, but the truths which I must touch upon in doing so would cause only distress and confusion to the people of this world. Pray keep that in mind. Now, I am sure you are desperate to know the fate of your fellow Scions. To put it simply, they are here in the First. Their arrival, however, was not as recent as you may imagine. Here, time flows at a different pace from that of the Source. In the space of a single hour in your home world, an entire year might pass in the First, and the reverse could also be true. The pace fluctuates without rhyme or reason, and it cannot be predicted. That said, we seem to be entering a period of near equivalence. And thus, for the moment, you need not overly concern yourself with the passage of time. As for your companions, however, Yustola and Urianger have dwelled here for 3 winters, all told, while Thancred's count stands at 5. Even our more recent arrivals, Alphino and Alize, have lived in the First for almost a year. My intention had been to summon only you, but the art of reaching across worlds has proven exceedingly difficult to master. Thus it was that my fumbling hand closed upon those to whom your fate is most closely bound as well. As they were not the object of my summons, their transference was incomplete. Though they may appear to possess corporeal bodies, they are, in truth, merely spirits that one can see and touch. Consequently, while you yourself will be able to pass between worlds with relative freedom, they will not. Much as it grieves me, they are stranded here, unable to return.
Then find a way to send them back.
We spent every waking hour searching for a way to reverse the summoning. In the beginning, at least.
In the beginning?
As you may have surmised, however, our efforts met with little success. And then we all but abandoned the endeavor once Urianger shared with us the vision he had witnessed during his journey through the rift. In that chaotic no-man's land between realms, time and space warp and blend in unexpected ways. What Urianger saw was the future, that which would one day come to pass. In his vision of tomorrow, the First was rejoined with the Source. This collision of worlds brought about the 8th umbral calamity and the deaths of countless multitudes. Amongst those who perished, Urianger clearly saw the fall of the Scion's mightiest champion. he watched you die. And thus did the Scions embrace their exile, and began searching this world for a means to forestall the coming catastrophe in yours. Their souls are stranded in the first, yes, but they have fought on, desperate to save their home and you from destruction. Nor have their efforts been in vain, for it was they who finally established that the elimination of the Sin Eaters will indeed serve to prevent the calamity. Considering these circumstances of our meeting, you would be forgiven for doubting my version of events. And so, before all else, I would suggest you track down your comrades and hear the tale from their lips. I shall of course be happy to assist in these reunions, and you need not make any decisions regarding your involvement until you are certain of where you stand. Meanwhile, I promise I will not rest until I have found a way to help your friends return home. What say you? Have I earned your trust for the moment, at least?
Aye, but I'll see you keep that promise.
Excellent. You will not regret this. With that settled, we shall have to see about getting you ready for the road. Traveling across the rift has no doubt left you weary. I will arrange for a room where you might rest in comfort. While it's being prepared, perhaps I can show you around.
The Crystarium boasts a number of residential districts, but I have informed that a room has just become available at the Pendants, which, as it turns out, is perfect. Our path here will take us past the markets. I was hoping to give you my own introduction to their wares. Come along.
This is the Musica Universalis, the commercial heart of the Crystarium. Aught you might need to prepare for your journeys can be purchased here. Ah, yes. You must be curious about the currency. Fear not. The gil you carry will serve you well enough. Each nation once minted its own coins, but 'twas all a jumbled mess following the flood. After much debate, the local merchants eventually elected to revert to the old ways, wherein a coin's value was decided by the worth of its metal. As for a unit of measurement, we agreed upon the term gil, a word borrowed from coins uncovered within the Crystal Tower here. And as our traders peddled their wares across the land, so too did our usage of gil become common practice. From what your stola tells me, a standard coin from the source equates to exactly 1 gil here, or near enough not to matter. Our way of life has benefited greatly from the artifacts we recovered from the tower, some of which may be familiar to you.
Homestone! Mm-hmm. Come, you've got to be freaking kidding.
But I fear it would not be practical for us to provide everything to which you are accustomed. you shall need a means to access the commodities of your homeworld. Avan Kerm Sin?
Yes, I'm here! Of course I'm here! What amusements do you have for me today?
My dear Feo Ul, paragon of pixie kind. For you, I have the most vital task. This fine gentleman is a friend from a distant realm. And we have need of a means to ferry things back and forth from his home. Might you be able to assist us in this matter?
You came from beyond, didn't you? From beyond the rift? How wonderfully exciting! What a brave and reckless and marvelous thing you did! You've the heart of a pixie, you do. After careful consideration, I have decided to grant you my assistance. Make a pact with me and the fun can begin. But answer me this, traveler. Did your garments come with you when you crossed over? Your teeth? Your nails?
I believe so.
Just as I thought! Then you've a good stout connection with your home through which all your belongings, great and small, may easily pass. From this moment forth I will be your Isne Fis, and you my Snay Yak. Like the branch which sprouts from the sapling, our bond will flow unbroken from one to the other. Raise your hand.
All right then. Let me grab the book.
Tis done. We are bound now, dearest sapling.
I have the book.
Come then. Make your request. Tell me your desire. I wish to visit this world of yours.
Mayhap a message to your friends in the Source to inform them of your safe arrival.
Send a message to Tataru.
Consider it done.
There we go.
As you heard, that was Feo Ul of the Pixies. Their kind possess an affinity for magic akin to that of arcane beings. They rarely show themselves in populated areas, but Feo is insatiably curious even by pixie standards, and seems to have taken a liking to the Crystarium. Right, we were going to organize a room for you, weren't we? Come along.
I am going to go ahead and check out the stalls. Bingo depends. And there you are. I was just finalizing the matter of your accommodation. You'll have a private room here at the Penance for the duration of your stay, to make use of as you see fit. I believe it covers all of the practical concerns. Thank you for answering my call. We are denied the comforting blanket of the night, but may peaceful dreams attend to you nonetheless. Pleasure to meet you, sir, and welcome to your new home at the Penance. Your room is ready, if you care to retire. Oh. Wait a moment.
I know you. You're the warrior of light from the source.
Yeah. Warrior of darkness?
What? Did you just... You can hear me?
Yes, apparently so.
Oh, gods, how long has it been? That was what I called myself in your world. The Warrior of Darkness. My real name is Ardbert. I used an alias in the source, a daft one, looking back. If you recall my tale, it was my comrades and I who caused the flood. We thought our home doomed. And so we listened to the Ascians. Let them guide us to the source and try to hasten their goddamned ardor. I remember when we fell, defeated by you and yours. I remember our audience with Minfilia, how she listened to our pleas and returned our souls to the First. The flood was poised to swallow Norvrant. Minfilia and my friends, they surrendered what little they had left to hold it back. Just faded away, leaving me to bear witness. Tell me, do you know the year? How much time has passed since we caused the flood? 100 years. 100 long years. My hands find no purchase. My gestures catch no eye, and my pleas, be they whispered or screamed, reach not a single ear. I am a shade, cursed to do naught but drift. I feel as if I've been walking forever. I hardly noticed when my mind and body began to fray at the edges. Then bang. My senses were sharp again. I felt like a fish being reeled in, and before I knew it, I found myself in this room. Why is it that you can see me? What are you even doing here, come to that?
Simple. I think it's our shared gift.
You were summoned to save the first. A waste of time. This world is beyond saving, like those who try to save it. Muddled as my mind may be, I've not forgotten that. But if fate has brought me to you, the one person in this God's forsaken world who can see and hear me, then perhaps there is a reason I endured. If I can find out why I was left behind, then maybe I can bring this journey of mine to an end. Well, I'll be watching, Warrior of Light. But do me a favor. Be careful out there. This world has had its fill of heroes.
Interesting. Not even a sign that the time of day changes. I once again forget that I have the Ethernet to work with. Run up the stick. Oh, those are players. I was already wondering. Those NPCs weren't here before. Enter the oculum. It says portal to the source.
Ah, how did you find your new quarters? I trust you were able to rest.
Oh, I forgot to turn my model back on. I had a ghostly visitor.
I was not aware the room was haunted, and you were rather tired. Well, should you receive another visitation, be sure to let me know. Now, let us return to the subject of the Scion's whereabouts.
And I have a
This
map.
map shows the lands of Norvrand, the only area to be spared the flood of light.
Oh, it's a wall.
The Crystarium is here, in the region known as Lakeland.
Okay, good to know.
To the north is the fairy kingdom of Il-Meg. That is where you'll find Urianger. To the east lies the once prosperous civilization of Rak-Tika. Your Stola is stationed there, in the heart of the forest. Alas, neither location can be reached without considerable difficulty. As such, I would suggest you first seek out one of the twins, each of whom is stationed but a short flight from the Crystarium. Alphino is on Calusia, an island off the western shore. It is home to a city called Yulmore, where the rich and privileged while away their days in idleness. For his part in furthering our cause, Alphino journeyed there to meet with the citizenry and forge alliances. From what I hear, he has since kept himself busy gathering information around the main settlement. Alize, meanwhile, traveled south to the arid wastes of Armorang. They lie upon the very edge of the inhabitable world, where the flood of light was halted. Those who dwell there live in constant fear of attack by the Sin Eaters. In contrast to her brother, Alize felt that her energies would better be spent learning about the enemy, and thus she sells her services as a guard, both to hone her skills and gather information on our foe. So, will it be Calicia or Armorang? It matters not which you choose to visit. Simply inform me once you have made your decision, and I will see to it that you are provided with a suitable mount. Ah, but you must be wondering about Thancred. He has taken up with a new companion, and is presently engaged as a wandering hunter of Sin Eaters.
Oh.
Being ever on the move, his whereabouts are often difficult to ascertain, but I am certain your paths will cross ere long.
In search of Alphino. You will visit Alphino and Calusia then. Excellent. As I mentioned, your destination is an island off the west coast, so you will need a mount capable of making the journey. Here's a letter of introduction, written to Shem Jinmai, the master of beasts at the Tenemos Rookery, and he will take care of you. When you see Alphino, be sure to pass along my warmest regards. Also take in search of Alize, just to be safe. Ready to depart for Armorang. Alize will be overjoyed to see you safe. I know she was particularly concerned for your well-being. She impressed upon me how regrettable the timing of her summoning was, repeatedly. I hope that my part in sending you to her will garner me some measure of forgiveness. Here's a letter of introduction addressed to a man named Kassad, the master of a merchant caravan. There are few known ways of the desert as well as he does. Find him at the Amaro launch, and he will see that you reach your destination. Now, we'll first focus on Alphino. But I also do realize we have only like a little over half an hour left in our regular stream time. Let's go to the Tenemos Rookery. Your face is unknown to me. What business have you at my rookery? Signed by the XIV, no less. But yes, I could provide you an Amaro for passage to Calusia. I'll pick you out of friendly wealth. An Amaro, you say? That's right. Sounds like my great friend over there are a common sight in these parts. I gather you hail from further afield. More accustomed to chocobos, perchance? I hear there are a few places where they ride little else. Seeing as you are plainly unaccustomed to riding Amaro, I think it best I accompany you on this flight myself. Any Zodworthy with the name could do it. But the Exarch sent you to me. Ensuring you arrive safely is my responsibility. Gather your things and meet me at the Amaro launch. One of the junior tamers will attend to you while I ready the mounts. Tap to go to the Amaro launch. You want to fly tomorrow to Colusia? Well, if Master Genmai is going with you. Wait here, please. The master should be along with the mount shortly. Oh yeah, I gotta equip the Aether compass again.
The whistling breeze, mute. The pounding surf, frozen. Time itself takes a breath. At light's edge, all is perfectly still. The world captured in a painting, locked in a moment. Music, faint and fleeting, drifts coastward on the lifeless air. And in the distance, beyond the broken earth, a city beckons.
Colusia. We have arrived. This is Cracked Shell Beach. Oh, I need to disable auto advance. On the eastern coast of Colusia. You should be safe here for the present. Compared to the mainland, Sin Eater attacks are far less prevalent. And the native beasts are not any more dangerous than elsewhere. It's the people you should be wary of. Spy you that city in the distance? It's Yulmore, the island's main settlement. It rivals the Crystarium in scale, and was once an ally in our battle against the Abominations. For years, the Yulmoran elite have fancied themselves the masters of what remains of our broken world. They have gone as far as to offer the leaders of other settlements their protection, if we bend the knee. To say their ideals are questionable would be putting it mildly. The Crystarium is one among many who resist their heavy-handed authority. And while we are not at war, our relationship with Yulmore is strained at best. It would be wise to conceal your ties with the Exarch during your stay here, especially in the vicinity of the city. I'm glad we understand each other. Now, the Exarch has instructed me to divulge a secret that should make finding your friend a good deal easier. Listen closely. Oh, ads incoming. One moment, we'll go ahead and put the actions. General, where's the... Extras, not that. Traits, duties, performance. Nope. Okay, squad and pet. Where can I find the Aether currents button again? Oh, ads are running, so I have time. Let's see. Oh, in a collection tab. I forgot. .338 southwest. A still tide. Whatever Jinmai has to tell you, he plainly deems it worthy of your undivided attention. If you head south along the coast, you will eventually come to a fisherman's shack. Yeah, a friend of the XIV lives there, a man who goes by the name of Abel. He will keep an eye on everything that happens to Colusia, and will be able to point you in the right direction. Just hand him a sprig of thyme, and I will let him know you can be trusted. Here, this should be enough. Find your friend. I will stay here with you tomorrow until you are ready to return. Hobgoblins. Still not first enemy. Oh, look, there's a. This is the. You see the equivalent of a Gubu. Settlement. Hey, the movables are also a different color. Of a different color palm here. Still time. There we go. I have my second ape ready. Arnar. And also a completely enemy I haven't seen before. I ended up on the first. Also, there's some lighting glitch there. What are you after? Fish? Crab? I've got an eel in a barrel somewhere if you have a taste for them. How about some time? Oh, I do love a bit of thyme. Just chuck some in the pan and it's like a bloody festival of flavor. Now what can I do for you? Can't say there's been any major upsets to report in the past few weeks. Oh, for no, eh? I know the one, our young champion of the downtrodden. Almost richer than all Northern put together. But it's a different story from us live outside the city. Most spend every waking moment just trying to stay alive. Which makes your friend's dedication to helping others stand out all the more. Wait. I can hazard a guess as to where he is now. Getting the message to him? Well, you need somewhere quiet to meet, away from prying eyes. Make for Stilltide. There's the fishing village just up the path there. You're looking for a rundown excuse for a tavern the locals call the Leaky Keel. Wait there and I'll see that Alphino joins you. Arnar. That's the Leaky Keel. It's cramped. Yeah. It's your first time in a tavern. It's customary to buy a drink if you mean to loiter. What are you having? Fine choice. And what will you be paying with? Now, those are exotic. Why don't you come by coins like that? Sorry, dear, I don't doubt they have value. Well, just don't have a touchstone to test their purity. And I'm not gonna go begging for one from the neighbors. So just have to come to some other arrangement. I need to exterminate some pests. Also close to squapes, but they're not quite squapes. Bees. There we go. No response. Maybe you need to knock louder. No response. Perhaps the occupant's hard of hearing. Knocking. Again. You hear a faint squeaking from the room beyond. You burst in. Time to burst in and save the day, brave adventurer. No one is home, and judging by the lack of furniture, they haven't been for some time. The odd scraps of vegetables on the floor suggest rats have taken up residence in their absence. Oh! Okay, I'll need to hop into a VC then. Looks like I am being summoned by the FC. Where are they? I see.
I had an actual I had a roommate that had like $1 million Zimbabwean $1
Hey, congratulations, you two. Alga, Elliot, good job. You two hunted me down.
I still have like, what is it, it's like 1,600 Ukrainian hryvnia, which is like what, 50 euros or something like that, but it just feels so much, you know.
I was doing.
You're not used to a currency.
I'm doing MSQ right now, and yep, there, and now I'm just getting. Anyway, it's time for me to hop into a cutscene, I guess. Yeah.
Good luck.
What? Nothing the caretaker have to say for himself. There was no one there. Go on. Must have left to join the rest of the hopefuls. In Gate Town, outside the old mall. You don't have a clue what I'm talking about, do you? I always think you were another dreamer. Well, never mind all that. Take a seat wherever you like there. You've more than earned it. I'll even throw in another drink on the house.
Gonna have to talk to him about it.
Alfie, it's time for Alfie.
And how is business today, Mistress Theva?
Theva. Ah.
Oh, frenetic. Look, I have a new customer.
And a familiar face to you, perhaps. It's been what, a year for you?
'Tis good to see you, my friend. The barley seeds you wanted. They should produce a better harvest than the last.
What, just like that? Oh, Alfie, no, you really are a dear. Well, I'd best be tidying up some of those empty shacks before the pests move in. Keep an eye on the place while I'm out, eh?
It seems an age since last we spoke. Not since the prisoner exchange in Doma. And Yotsu. It has been even longer for me, of course, if you count the days I've spent here. But the time has only added to the relief I feel seeing you safe and well.
We thought we lost you.
Huh. Alize said much the same thing. I don't think I've ever had such a scolding. But I believe an exchange of news is in order. Come, tell me of your arrival and all that came before.
Alright, I'll catch you up. Have a seat.
I see. Both the Exarch and Alize told me what they knew of events, but I had stubbornly clung on to the hope that all-out war might yet be avoidable. And poor Tataru. She must be sick with worry. We must endeavor to return as soon as we may. It would be nice to bring her good tidings for a change. But before we bid this world farewell, we must first ensure that it is not rejoined to the source. We must prevent the 8th Umbral calamity. Urianger's vision of the future has, I fear, every chance of coming true. By his description, the catalyst for the calamity was a formless and deadly weapon employed by the Garlean Empire.
Black Rose.
Which can only mean one thing. Black Rose. Gaius was telling you the truth. When we were on the trail of the Ascians, we saw evidence that the gas was being manufactured once more. Gaius was adamant that the project had been scrapped, but so long as there are wars to be waged, there will always be those determined to win by any means. And thus simply destroying the existing stores of Black Rose would do little to alter fate's course. In that sense, our involuntary journey here to the First was something of a boon. Together with the Exarch, we've developed a theory as to how we believe the rejoining will be set in motion. I'm sure Urianger himself will cover the subject in more detail. But I can tell you the process requires that both worlds, the Source and the First, be facing an existential threat. One being Sin Eaters, of course. They are a menace that I would dearly love to remove, and not just to avert a calamity. I may be a stranger to this world, but I will not stand idly by and let innocent people be slaughtered. That is what brought me to the gates of Yulmore. Ignoring its pretensions as a kind of capital city to what remains of the world, it is nonetheless a center of power and authority. If any solutions are to be found, I believe our search should begin there. What say you, old friend? Hungry for another adventure? And so we take to the road once more.
Once again. Anyway, I think that's about where I'm gonna go ahead and say a wrap for today. There we go. Now to see who we can raid out to. Because I have a couple of thumbnails to make, and two pieces of VOD to upload to YouTube. Let me just pull up the stream manager. following, same category. I'm guessing there is someone at least. Let's say hello to Sky. Who's apparently doing raids. So, good night everyone. Tomorrow at 4 we are continuing Hightail. Bye bye.